Because it's infinitely broken. We're greedy. We're crooked as a dog's leg, as we used to say in East Tennessee. When you have a congressman making 600-700% return day in, day out, they don't need to be here in Washington, D.C. They need to be up on Wall Street advising all those big advisors, maybe the Fed, how to invest the money. Because obviously, look, we're in on meetings that go on behind the scenes. And the latest legislation, I proposed a bill, just said no stock trading. Do like I do. Have my buddy Tommy Siler manage my $11,000 portfolio, which is a mutual fund. Put everything in a dadgum mutual fund. But what do they want to do? No. Here's the latest idea they have, and it's the one that's capturing all the press right now, is that they're going to, if you've got stock, say you have $100 million, which is not unusual up here. There's some that do in the stock market. They get to keep it, but they can't buy any more after that. It's sort of the drawbridge approach. And then what's going to happen? The House will pass something. The Senate will pass something different. And they'll all be out drinking wine at Martha's Vineyard the next weekend laughing at us because it just isn't going to work. This town is crooked. Both parties are in on it. And it's a very small club. And guess what? America, you're not in on it.
America, you're not in on it. We're as corrupt and crooked as a dog's leg, crippled dog's leg. The most powerful thing that Congressman Tim Burkett from Tennessee just said, this is a powerful, wealthy group of people, and you're not a part of it. We talk about this quite a bit on the show because it is dominating the news every cycle. The corruption, the fraud that's in our government, in our federal government and our state governments, they're all intertwined. The states are in bed with the federal government as well. I'm going to take some time today to just give you just a taste of the fraud. Some that we've talked about before and some are new. In the big scheme of it, does it really matter? We're talking the 38 to 40 trillion dollars that we're in debt, and then some. Meaning the greatest economy in the world is not 40 trillion in debt. We are 40 trillion in the black. They stole it from us. Think about what I'm trying to tell you. Let's bring it down to a personal level. It's like me coming to you and saying, you know what? You don't have a mortgage on a $600,000 house that you're trying to refinance. You owe $475. You don't have student loan debt. You're not trying to get your kids through college. You don't have 2 car loans. Guess what? Instead of all that debt, guess what you have? You have $100 million in the bank. What? Yeah. $100 million. Holy mother of God. Same thing. Federal government, you're 38 to 48 trillion dollars in debt. Oh my God. The debt balances, just interest on the debt alone, it's going to crush us. Oh no, psych. You're 40 trillion in the black. What do you think we could do with $40 trillion in America right now? Huh? Could we repave every single road in America? Rebuild every single school in America? Rebuild all the hospitals, all the infrastructure you can imagine, and then money would be left over for you and me because we would pay no income tax, no state tax. We'd pay nothing. We might pay some sales tax, something to pay the police and fire, but majority would be coming in tariffs. No, we don't want to do that. Ask yourself something very simple. If you were 200, 500, $1 million, $10 million in debt, and I came to you and I said, hey, I have the solution. It's really not going to be that painful. You're going to have to exclude some people from your life, but they're destroying your life. They're destroying your life. You're miserable right now. Are you miserable? Yes, I am. Well, these people are committing the misery. So all I'm going to do is remove them. And then lo and behold, no one's going to be stealing from you anymore. You're going to be mentally, physically, spiritually straight, and financially, you're going to be worth millions of dollars. Would you take it? I would take it instantly. That's what they're saying to America, the American government. We have the solution. We have Doge. We have all this fraud going to NGOs. Let's stop everything. No, they won't stop it. Why won't they stop it? Because they're all getting wealthy on it. Just like if I went to your friends and said, "Hey, I'm going to exclude you from their life, but it's your choice." No. Oh, no. That person that you're trying to protect, JG, that's our host. We're parasites. That's our federal government. That's our state government. I have said this, and I'm going to continue to say it because it is so spot on. Stop talking. This is a problem I have too. I tell myself, Jay, just shut up. Just shut your mouth and let's listen to what they say. On both sides. When Tim Burkett starts to talk about the inner workings of Congress, shut your mouth and listen to him. Then believe what he's saying. He's not sitting up there talking about how great he is and all. And no. He's getting up there, and he must be getting massive pushback from his colleagues. He's telling you that the place that he goes to work every single day is bankrupt, morally bankrupt, financially bankrupt. They're stealing everything from you, and they are the den of thieves inside that beautiful capital of the United States of America, where all of the centralized power is consolidated and runs the world. This isn't a consolidation of power that runs a country. It runs the world. And that man, Tim Burkett, is telling you it is so grotesquely corrupt that you couldn't even fathom to understand. When my 401k gets 7 to 10% in a year growth, wow. I'm like, holy smokes. Some of the biggest years I had in the Border Patrol in my 401k was like 30%. And that was an anomaly. That was like, mother of God, what's happening? 600 to 700% increase in your net worth in your stock portfolio? Warren Buffett doesn't get 600, 700%. Do you understand? That's not even an anomaly. That's an understatement. They're robbing you. You're robbing me blind. What if you and I went and found out what the next move is stock-wise in several businesses, and we got insider trading, and we all came together, like 10 of us, and compiled our money and said, I think we can pull together all of our money we have, maybe $1 million. Let's roll the dice. We have insider trading that said this is going to happen. This company's going to take it over because of this law has been passed, and then it's going to split, and then it's going to split, then it's going to split, then it's going to explode. We're going to make 100 times our money. What would happen to us? All 10 of us would go to jail. But the Congress can sit there inside secret meetings, begin to make policy and administrative policy and sometimes law to help certain businesses. Then they divert their money to those businesses and to that sector, and then they dominate 600, 700, 1,000% returns. I was listening to a podcast when I'm driving in from work today. And it was a guy on there, and he was talking about, you can try all you want. The system is broken. The system is corrupt. If you make it, you will make it solely based off of extreme diligence and determination, and you will somehow slip through the cracks where the machine grinds everyone else down. Now, does that sound like the America that we grew up in? The America where people championed hard work and determination? And how many times do we hear this? All you have to do is have determination, perseverance, and a strong work ethic, and you will succeed in America. That is a lie. That used to be the truth, and I witnessed it. I witnessed it in my mother. I witnessed it in my father. I witnessed it in myself in my early life when I didn't have a lot of money. I was broke. but it wasn't because of some man was impressing me. No, it's just I was young. I was starting out, but I felt in the late 80s, early 90s that I could do anything, man. All I have to do is find my groove, continue to work hard, put my nose to the grindstone, be aggressive, take risk, and I will come out on top. I remember feeling that, and it was exhilarating. Exhilarating. Now, I have retirement. I have a new job. I do podcasting, write books, do speeches, and I'm telling you, I don't feel that exhilaration. I feel pending doom. And I am not a glass half empty or hopeful. I'm not optimist. I'm not a pessimist. I'm just a stone cold realist. I don't walk through life going, this sucks and we're going to lose. And no. I'm just saying this is what I know is true. How do I know it's true? Is just because of my experience? No. I listen to people that are in the know. Do I listen to people that are talking about insider trading and they're my sanitation worker? No. I listen to people that are inside the businesses in certain interviews they have, and they just tell you the truth. I think that's the biggest misnomer or the biggest misconception, that the people at the top are the smartest among us. And the most talented. That's so far from the truth. They're not the most talented, and they're definitely not the smartest. But they are the most arrogant. They are the most self-righteous. They are the most self-serving. And they have an appetite to tell you what they're doing. It's their little way of telling you that they know that you know who's in charge. And every now and then they have to say it out loud to remind us, the host, you have no choice in this. You're going to take the beating and you're going to remain silent. How many more times do I have to listen to Tim Burkett come on someone's show and say that the government is corrupt to the core? How many more times do I have to listen to Elon Musk say we're hemorrhaging minimum conservatively about $1.5 trillion minimum conservative fraud every single year? In the last decade, that would wipe away all of our debt. We don't have a $38-40 trillion spending problem. We have a $38-40 trillion theft problem. I'm going to pull this up. This is just a taste. This is a simple taste of the amount of fraud going on. This is California. This has now become the epicenter of fraud. And this woman is you're not going to believe it. I don't think, there are times where I go, do I play this? I mean, is somebody going to think this is a spoof? And I ask myself sometimes, is this AI? Am I being spoofed? Nope, it's California. Wait till you hear this.
I heard there was an NGO in San Francisco called Community Forward that were giving free shots of alcohol to homeless people or drug addicts. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, it was a program that was administered by the city and the county. It was a $16 million a year program, and they worked exclusively with Community Forward to go out because, homeless people, there's a lot of alcoholics. And so instead of going through binging and withdrawals, right, this program was going to go out there and help that community by giving free shots of alcohol. So $16 million a year is what they put this up for 5 years. Do the math, that's $80 million, right? And in that 5-year span, they served an amazing 55 clients. 55.
And was there a plan just to go around and give people shots of alcohol, or what was the plan?
I'm not really sure, but it's just simply the who even thought of that, right? And it probably wasn't pitched to the city to go, hey, we're going to go give shots of alcohol to homeless people, because everybody would be like, that's stupid. But they were like, we're going to help the homeless, and we're going to do this. But probably on the form said, yeah, we're giving shots of alcohol to people, and somebody found out.
Some NGO took in millions of dollars.
Right. And how much more have they gotten? This is just one program. Have they gotten any more money? Are the people associated with this company? Are they have any other NGOs that are going and filtering money off with other programs? And more importantly, who allowed it? Like, who allows that much money to just go out unchecked? So that the only word for it is criminal.
The only word for it is criminal. He actually made or asked several powerful questions. How many more NGOs? This NGO, how many more programs do they have oversight of? This is just the tip of the iceberg. How much money more that we have not discovered yet? And who is allowing it? It's the idea. Like you have a unfaithful spouse. The very first thing you think is, well, this isn't the first time. This can't be she can't be that unlucky, or he can't be that unlucky. And 9 times out of 10, you're absolutely factually right, unfortunately. Same thing here. Okay, I didn't even hear about this until yesterday, right? I didn't. I didn't know about the shots for 55 drug addicts and homeless people that cost $80 million in 5 years. $80 million. I didn't know about it until yesterday. How many more of these things are going on? And I want my audience to understand this. And I learned this when I was in the Border Patrol, and I watched the NGOs, and I watched, it's not the major NGO. It's all of the little NGOs underneath the big dog. And the big dog was getting tens of millions of dollars, funnel it down to the small ones, and everyone was just ripping off the government. No one was doing a damn thing. No one was doing anything. I'll give you a point. Jewish Family Services was getting $600 million contracts renewable after every 3 to 6 months during the Biden administration to traffic people into America. And I asked the guy that handles that check appropriation, I asked him, are you following that money to make sure that the Jewish Family Services are actually facilitating what they're getting paid for? He laughed at me. No, I have no idea where the money goes. None. And then he said, just to prove my point about what I'm talking about here in California, is he says that the weird thing is, JJ, when I send the electronic fund transfer to Catholic Charities, but Jewish Family Services as well, then I get an emergency call from an NGO saying I need $5 million for diapers, or I need $10 million for baby formula, or $20 million for COVID test. Then what I would do is cut them a check as fast as I could. But where I sent the check was to the same bank account as Jewish Family Services. This was all money laundering scheme, guys. Just like in California, you spent $80 million on 55 drunk and drug addicts, giving them shots in 5 years. So the big question is, where the hell did the money go? Did it just disappear? Is it sitting in some bank vault somewhere that we just don't know about? Or have they stolen all of it? There are billions and billions and tens of billions of dollars fighting the homeless since Gavin Newsom came into office. There's more homeless than there's ever been in California. So where did the money go? And no one seems to ask that, do they? It's just lost. Okay. What if I went into your checking account and you had $10,000 and I took all $10,000? Would you go in to the bank and just go, it's okay? Wait a minute. And the banker's like, wait a minute. I'm looking at the checks that are coming in. You have your mortgage, you have your kid's school, you have the car payments. You need that $10,000. Nah, it's okay. I don't need it. It's going to a good cause. It's going to 55 people that are drug addicts and alcoholics, and they're giving them shots. They have a couple girls in bikinis. It's fun. It's $80 million worth of fun. They need my $10,000. Okay. Have you had enough? Every day I sit here and I go through and produce my show, and that's the drumbeat in my head. Do you think America's had enough yet? I guess not. Every day I think, well, this has to at least set people off. Nope. And I'm starting to formulate the idea that the reason why there's nothing exploding where, people with pitchforks and fire torches and burning things to the ground is because there is a large, maybe a majority of Americans that are benefiting from this. Just a theory, but one that I think has a lot of weight. This is Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck's going to talk about Somalis and $1 million of cash going out every day. He has a unique take, and I just want you to hear it.
This guy's going to jail. Others are going to jail because, and there'll be white people, Tim. So you should be happy because you were saying there's a lot of white people that should go to jail. Well, you're one of them, and you will go to jail. Let me show you, just give you a stat here on the last 2 years at the Minnesota airports. I just want you to think and ask yourself, how is it possible this happened and nobody stopped it? Over the last 2 years, between 24 and 25, Somali couriers put $700 million in suitcases. And they went through the airport. That's what they found. That to put that into perspective, that's about $1 million a day in cash from Somalia couriers going through, X-ray machine, going through, being checked. $1 million a day in cash for 2 years. Now you have to ask yourself, was there no one that said,
Let's listen to that again. Very important. The last 5 seconds.
Was there no one that said,
Was there? Okay. I'm in federal government again. Law enforcement. If I pulled over a car that had $1 million in cash in it, they had a receipt for it, I would have to do a memo, some kind of report, and push it up. Maybe it's an anomaly. Maybe a guy just came from a casino. Maybe they're just stealing money from fraud, from welfare. I can't prove it. I have to let him go. Same time, same corner, same street. I pull this car over again. It's the same damn guy. Another $1 million. This happens for 2 solid years. I would get my lunch. I'd drive out to this road and I'd wait for this guy to come, and I would see him in his car and I'd pull him over. And maybe it'd be a different guy, maybe different car, but right around that time, and I would see, because they're all Somalis, or they were just white Middle Eastern men, or Russians, or Mexicans, whatever. Do you think there would be some time that I would have pushed up that arrest report or have gone in and began to dig through all of my law enforcement databases and start to create a picture of where this money's going? That means the TSA, this is just what TSA found. I showed you a video last week where a woman had $800,000 and she's screaming mad at the TSA. That's my money. That's my money. She can't speak English hardly at all. And I can't do that gutter language from Somalia. And she's pissed off because they found it. How many more bags of cash went through that have no one has any idea? We just know of 700 million. And no one did a damn thing about it. No one looked at somebody standing in front of them, had to know that they're Somali, had to know that the average Somalian has an IQ less than a retarded person, and they had to have asked themselves, that's $1 million. How the hell did this person that doesn't speak English have $1 million? And then you go to your lunch break and you start talking to people. Hey, can you believe I just stopped? This woman had 800,000 to $1 million. And then Bob over here goes, I had the same thing happen yesterday. And Samantha goes, I can't believe it. I did this 3 days in a row. And then an old timer, old crusty guy in the corner. There's always that guy drinking his coffee, eating his homemade sandwich in the brown paper bag, and he scoffs. Yeah, I've been tracking this for years. It's $1 million a day. And no one's done a damn thing. No one has stopped it. Do you think, let's bring it down. Do you think Billy Bob in the trailer park of Louisiana, where I grew up, and all the Billy Bobs outside of New Orleans is going to New Orleans International Airport every single day, flying to some redneck island somewhere and carrying $1 million a day? You think somebody would say something? You think someone would look into it? What about the blacks in the ghetto? Oh, blacks in the ghetto can't walk down the street with $1,000 in their pocket because it's drug money, and I'm going to confiscate it. We all know it's true. Don't act like it's not. But we can let foreign nationals come into America and rob us blind, and no one says a damn thing. Why? Because people are getting kickbacks. Large amounts of money are getting kicked back to the TSA leadership, to the governor, to the mayors, to everyone in between. They're all getting paid off. Guarantee it. Take it to the bank. God. I don't even know if I want to show you this, but I'm going to. Let me set it up for you. This is just, I hate to even say it like this. This is just a small fraud. It's $900 million. $900 million. And his name is Anash Ahmed, through healthcare billing schemes in Chicago. And no one said anything?
Right now, police say no one is in custody.
And the former Loretto Hospital executive who's accused of defrauding the federal government of nearly $300 million has been arrested in Serbia. Anash Ahmed, who was CFO, is part of a group accused of using stolen patient data to bill $900 million worth of bogus COVID-19 tests. Ahmad fled the country following his indictment, though. Court documents just filed yesterday reveal that he was captured back in November. He remains in Serbia, but prosecutors want him extradited here to face charges.
They want him to face charges. Okay, before I get rid of that, look at that. Does that look like a state-of-the-art hospital to you? COVID test. And you think, well, 900 million. He got popped for 300, but it was 900 million total. Let me put you in on a little secret. During COVID and even after, during Joe Biden, do you know how much it cost the federal government to pay NGOs, Catholic Charities, Jewish Family Services, Lutheran Family Services, Seventh-day Adventist, Baptist? Do you know how much they charge for a COVID test? Yeah, the COVID test you got for free. Or if you didn't want to go to public health, you would go to CVS, Walgreens, and it'd be like $7, $12 maybe. It's $2,000. When I heard that, I fell off my chair. I was like, "Are you what?" No, okay. I actually was talking face to face with the guy that had to procure it, and I said, "Okay, hold on a second. For somebody to stick a swab in your mouth or your nose, and then a nurse or a doctor to read because the people crossing the border were functionally retarded, they couldn't in any way understand how to do any of that stuff. So someone had to do it. So a nurse, it was $2,000. $2,000. We're not 40 trillion in debt. America is not the shiny city on the hill. America is a fallen nation that is in absolute free fall right now. And if you want to play the game of everything's okay and there's unicorns and rainbows flying out in outer space and spraying pixie dust all over us and we're all going to be okay, you keep living in that world. I refuse to. I refuse. Here's a woman, Congresswoman Kat Kamek, and she's going to talk to you about Obamacare. I didn't even know this numbers were this bad. Again, we only know what we know. I dig into this stuff constantly. And every time that I hear something I don't really know, I think, damn, you're ignorant. And then the second thought is, I would have to consume this 24 hours a day and I still wouldn't understand and know everything. She's going to tell you only 7% of Americans are actually on Obamacare. What? Where are the hundreds of billions of dollars going? Well, that would be to the big pharmaceutical and healthcare companies.
Hey guys, Congresswoman Kat Kamak here. I am just off the House floor, and you can probably hear in the background Chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, Jason Smith, railing right now because the Democrats have forced a discharge petition to the floor that would extend 3 years worth of Obamacare subsidies. Now, here's what you need to know, and you can probably see right here behind me on this TV, and then right behind me, that door leads to the House floor where this fight is happening right now. Here's what you need to know. Only 7% of Americans are on the Obamacare programs that receive subsidies. Now, of those 7%, there's 40% of people registered that are actually fraudulent, like fraudulent as in they're duplicative, they are not supposed to be in the program. In fact, they're finding that people making over $600,000 are receiving subsidies for their ACA, their AKA Obamacare plans. Now, here's the real rub. These subsidies don't go to individuals directly. They go to big insurance companies. Insurance companies like, well, we all know their names, but let's be honest. These are companies that are making 237% profits.
237% profit. Understand, this is the Democrats that fought in the last shutdown in order to get the subsidies to continue. And those were to continue to pay the healthcare industry. I have a pension. This is how it works. Part of my retirement is I have a pension, and I earned it. So it's mine. I earned it. And every year, inside my pension, I decided to continue. I have very good health care. And I continued. I was like, okay, this is very, it was a little high, but I was like, okay, it's not anywhere near what anyone else is paying. And then every year I get like it's called a cost of living increase. So, you might get 4 or 5% of your pension increases because of the cost of living. Every year I get that, and every year my premiums go up. So it's a wash. The federal government is sending hundreds of billions of dollars to the giant healthcare providers. They turn around and they increase our premiums. And then they go, the unfortunate people is 7% of our population. We're spending billions, hundreds of billions of dollars on 7% of our population and still gouging me. Where's that money going? Who's getting kickbacks? Do you understand how rotten to the core our government is? You can talk about China and their authoritative style, or you can talk about the theocracies in the Middle East or Russia. Are you really going to say that we are better than all of them? And I know I'm going to rankle a lot of patriots when I say this. We're not. We do it cleaner. We steal the money without hacking people's heads off. To a point. We bring in third worlders to do that, to keep us in line. People ask me all the time because everybody wants an answer. What do we do? What do we do? I don't know what you do. I don't know what your skill set is. It's not my job to tell you what to do. It's not my job to give you a solution. It's not. I'll give you my solution. And it's what Miss Dalia Ramirez accused me of, the congresswoman, the illegal alien congresswoman from Guatemala, when I was testifying in Congress. She said, you said, JJ, Mr. Carrell, that we should burn this place to the ground. Yep. I said that. I believe it. And it needs to be done. How are you gonna vote your way out of it? I played Marge Taylor Greene yesterday. Marge Taylor Greene said, you're not going to vote that out. You're not going to go in the midterms and your premiums are going to go down. No, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. I played the beginning of the show, Tim Burkett, who is there. These are his colleagues. He's telling you. He didn't mince his words. He didn't dance around. He came straight from the hip and said, our government is so corrupt, you can't even fathom. You can't even fathom how grotesque these people are. And we all sit here and go, well, dang it. I think this next guy might really do something for us. No. The best way for you to support me is I see my name and my website going across the ticker. That's the best way. Go to jjcarrell.com. Go to jjcarrell.substack.com. Become a paid subscriber. I have absolute postings every single day for paid subscribers, articles, videos, and then I also have a lot of free stuff. If you can't afford it, I get it. I understand it. A lot of people don't want another monthly payment of $5, $7, $9. I get it. So I have all my shows are cataloged in my website. All of it's there. Just go to my website. Go to my podcast on YouTube. A lot of people watch it there. Please subscribe and like it. That's the only way that I'm going to continue to grow and continue to push back on YouTube as they try to censor and, as a lot of people tell me, you're shadow banned. The other way is sat123.com. I talk about being prepared, talk about natural disasters, man-made snow, blizzards. I mean, I can't even believe I say this out loud. I swear to you. If you showed me 10 years ago and said, this is you on your own show, your podcast, and I listened to what I'm talking about, I'd be like, either what happened to me or what the hell happened to the world? Because I know I'm sane. Do I think differently? Do I process things differently? Yeah, but I'm not crazy. I'm not so far on the fringe that I'm a nut job. I think I'm pretty damn on mark on a lot of things. You have to be prepared. You have to protect your family. That is sat123.com/JJ. Get a ballistic backpack. There will never be a school shooting in my son's school or my daughter's school. Really? Okay. All right. You keep believing that. I'll never, when I go to the park, will be a shooting. I'll never go down the street and there'll be a shooting. Well, I have a ballistic backpack that will stop rounds and have a fighting chance. And I do believe it will happen. I do believe that there will be times. I'll give you a great example. I'll give you a personal example. Now it's about 2 years ago. The Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. They did a parade in all black Kansas City, Missouri. And black gangs began to shoot at each other indiscriminately in the crowd. My wife and my son were actually standing where people got shot less than 5 minutes before. My son was tired and he told my wife, I don't really feel good. Can we get out of here? And they left. And then people got shot. Don't think it can't happen. It will. Don't think that that you're going to get some kind of man-made snow blizzard or flood or torrential downpour and you have no connectability. Think again. Just go to the website. That's my only ask. Go to sat123.com/JJ and just look and see what you need. You'll be surprised. I love this company. sat123.com/JJ. We talked about this yesterday. what was it that I talked about yesterday? The whole show was Epstein, was how evil our nation has become. It's no longer a great description to say the United States of America is morally bankrupt, or we are in a moral free fall. I think that's too big of an understatement. The truth is, the real truth is that we are in the midst of evil. You don't have to concern yourself with it because you think you're tucked away in some small town or small community that's real tight knit, and you have we have a great police. All my neighbors are great. Okay. The evil is spreading like a stage 4 cancer across America. And it has everything to do with children, sexual abuse of children, child trafficking, child sacrifice, adrenochrome blood. And I'm going to talk about it for the next 19 minutes that I have this show, because it has to be discussed. And say 3 years ago, 2 years ago, when I testified in front of Congress, they mocked me. And they said, organ harvesting? Come on, is that really happening? And that's when I knew that I was talking to people that were compromised. And I was talking to people that were the dumbest people in our society, or maybe a combination thereof. Here's Jim Caviezel talking about it. And they mocked him. They mocked him when he said this years ago.
Adrenochrome, that's not true. It's C9H9NO3. This is a chemical compound that is absolutely, this has been around in modern science since the 1930s. You can actually, there's a synthetic form and there's a regular natural form, which is caused by torturing little kids to get their adrenaline up, essentially, and then extracting it from them. When you sit and meet, and so I brought this up a few years ago, and all of a sudden I was attacked by every media. Look it up. It's there. They absolutely went after me. And the next day, I never heard from my agency for 14 months. My lawyers let me go. My agency never called me after that. And essentially, I was done.
Well, why was he done? Because it's all in Hollywood. And above him, just to put this in context, was the Epstein, one of the Epstein emails. I'm going to read it to you. This is from Jeffrey Epstein as he's speaking to Barry Joseph's son. Quote from Epstein: all you need is a blood transfusion from the pack and you are reverse aging. And he says adrenochrome, which is caused by torturing little kids to get their adrenaline up, essentially, and extracting them. That's Jim Caviezel. This is being discussed. And everyone's discussing it openly now because they need to make it normal. They need to make it normal. Here's someone, I don't really know who this woman is. I mean, of course I know who she is, but I don't follow her. She sounds, I can't stand ghetto ebonics. I just can't stand it. However, this individual is becoming very powerful because she has seen it. This is Nicki Minaj. And I'm going to read what she wrote on her X. These are demons. If you can see in the background, let me see if I can bring it up. These are demons in the background with babies. They're killing the babies. They're eating the babies. And this is what Nicki Minaj says, who is, we would all say, is extremely wealthy, extremely dialed in to the entertainment world, and is one of the largest, if not one of maybe the largest presence in the entertainment world, known worldwide. And this is what she wrote and posted, quote, "Your favorite artist has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate and kill them as a form of a blood sacrifice to their god. You see, when your master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood. However, the gig is up." I don't find Nicki Minaj to be a mental patient. I don't think that she comes off as being stupid either. So why would I discard what she says? When we know you have Epstein, you have P. Diddy, you have Joe Biden brought in 550,000 of these children, and they've only found 130,000 of them. Where are they? We lose between 400 and 800,000 children a year. Let's just play the game that I'm crazy and the government's crazy and it's 400,000. And let's just say that 99% of those children are runaways and we all find them. That's still 4,000 children gone. Where'd they go? Is anybody looking for them? Have you ever lost your keys or your cell phone and how frantic you are to find it? Now imagine losing that cell phone 4,000 times and it's not a cell phone, it's your child. And you just kind of shrug your shoulders and go, well, I've just lost her. Have to move on, you know, life moves on and I just have to move on. It's okay. It's just children. Does it really matter? We're just killing children. We're just eating them. We're just traumatizing them. You honestly just can't make this up. This woman, her name is Barbara Max Hubbard, a supporter, a supposed pioneer in, quote, exploring the positive options of the future of humanity. Now, I'm going to play this and we'll talk about it. It's a 20-second clip, but I just want to play it for you, okay? These are the elites. This is what the elites are talking about in their meetings.
We are the first species on the face of this earth to be aware of evolution, to be aware that we are affecting our own evolution by everything that we do. The babies we eat, the food we eat, the wars we fight, the babies we eat.
Okay, I'm going to play it back just so you go, well, she's just a slip.
Affecting our own evolution by everything that we do. The babies we eat, the food we eat, the wars we fight, the babies we eat.
When have you ever spoke to a group of people or just a group of friends and just made the mistake and said, talking about the babies we eat? When someone says, well, you know, that's just a slip of the tongue. What slip of the tongue? She didn't let a curse word out. She didn't say a racial slur or a religious slur where it's in your vernacular and you're just and you're talking and it just comes out. So she had to have been in conversations. She's had to have had massive or long-term situations where she's eaten babies. You come out and say the N-word, or a religious slander flies out of your mouth, or an F-bomb. It's because you've said them before. You've thought about them before. You've experienced saying it and being around people that say them. So this demon and the people in the audience and the elites eat babies. Is it hard for you? Is it really hard for you to take that next step? I'm not asking you to build a bridge to China. I'm just telling you that you are standing on the pile of 63 million babies that have been butchered, had their limbs ripped off of their bodies, had their heads crowning the vaginal canal of their mothers and shunting their head with scissors to kill them. You are standing on the mutilation of millions of children, sexual mutilation, and you can't believe that they are sacrificing children. Are you honestly that inept? God almighty. I hate even talking about this crap. I hate even bringing my sponsor on after talking about something like this, but here it goes. patriotsmade.com/JJ. Big corporations are involved in a lot of this evil. I have looked long and hard to find corporations that I can do business with that are aligned spiritually, that are aligned patriotically, and that believe in the founding fathers and our religious documents and our Savior Jesus. This is one of those companies, patriotsmade.com. Products made in America by Americans that are green. They don't have mRNA in their food. They don't have plastics and metals in their lotions and drinks in their food. They are, quote, green. And why would I want to give money to people that hate me when I can give people a profit on providing me great products and they're aligned with me? I think it's an easy decision. Go to patriotsmade.com/JJ, patriotsmade.com/JJ. I want to play this, and I'm going to play it for 2 minutes. All right, because I think this falls in line with what we're talking about. The child sex trafficking, the child trafficking, the abuses, the rapes of children on Epstein Island, the fraud in our government. Nick Fuentes asked a bigger question that I think is important, and I want you to hear it from him.
They're going to try and make it a partisan thing. This is about everybody that was involved in this. We need to know, because we need to know who's compromised. Are these emails with Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein real? Because if they are, then that means that Jeffrey Epstein had extraordinary blackmail leverage over Bill Gates, one of the richest people in the world. That would be a big problem. And if Epstein had a similar relationship with Howard Lutnick or Donald Trump or Bill Clinton, that's a big problem. Because that would also seem to suggest that these people are compromised. By who? For what purpose? So again, and this is the most important thing, and I said this a couple weeks ago, everyone said it was controversial. Trump is not a pedo protector per se. That's not what this is. To the extent that there was pedophilia or underage sexual abuse, not justifying it, that was only in the furtherance of another crime. You understand the difference? That was in the furtherance of another crime. It's not like they were running a pedophilia ring because they just really wanted to get their rocks off and Jeffrey Epstein was a pimp. That's not what happened here. Jeffrey Epstein was pimping girls out to blackmail his clients. You understand? The sex trafficking, the sexual abuse of underage girls, these were crimes committed in the furtherance of extortion to compromise powerful people. That is actually the larger question. Are you prepared to ask that question? I see people squealing and screaming, pedophile protector, and they want to get into the sensational details of the sex crimes. I understand that. But you do realize that, let's say we nail Bill Gates for cheating on his wife, or we nail somebody for sleeping with a 16-year-old or a 15-year-old. It's a crime. It's disturbing. But the next question is, who paid for the blackmail? Is that person compromised? And if they were compromised, what were they ordered to do and by who?
That is a great take. That's a great take. What were they ordered to do and by who? It wasn't Jeffrey Epstein. I'm going to dive in this tomorrow. This is absolutely our government, the CIA, and a foreign government, Israel and Mossad. We had a foreign entity blackmailing our, quote, elites. Do I like the elites? No, I could care less. I don't care if they die tomorrow. It doesn't matter to me. But those elites have power over my life. And a foreign nation had direct knowledge, participation, funding to have influence over us in America. I'm going to touch base on that tomorrow, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be pissed off. I don't care. And I think Nick Fuentes makes another great point or question. Are you ready to find out who's been compromised and what they were told to do and who told them to do it? Are you ready? My answer to you is America will never be ready. It will be too late. Because the Democrats will circle their wagons. The evangelical Christians will circle their wagons when it's one of their own. And the Republicans will circle their wagons. I want everyone involved to burn in hell for eternity. Can anyone that thinks that I am overstating this, or if I am saying, well, people aren't involved and it's not as widespread as you think, I'm going to show you a pedophile that they put right in our face. And they put him right in our face to show us that they own us.
These are our kids. These are our neighbors. Not somebody else's kids. They're all our kids.
When you see our kids, and I truly believe that they are our children.
LGBTQ Americans, especially children, you're loved, you're heard, and this administration has your back.
We met before. It's hard to forget those eyes.
These are our kids. Not somebody else's kids. They're all our kids.
You think they just put him out there knowing that he's a pedophile and they made a mistake? Or did they put him out there to tell you, yeah, we know you're on to us. We don't care because we control everything. We control the TV, the video games, the movies, podcasts. We control everything. Everyone's for sale. And I mean everyone. It's sad, but it sure in the hell feels that way.